this week, the Secretary General is visiting the area. How do you feel? I mean, what kinds of issues do you feel that it's important for him to address to the global community?
I think the most important message he should have that this is an emergent democracy and it's on the right track and it should be an example for the rest of Africa. That's the first thing. They should definitely talk about the developments in the SADC countries, in the southern African countries, as they want to develop themselves as a region and not as different countries. And then,
when you say, okay, it's an emerging democracy,
yes, it is.
In what way could the Secretary General of the United Nations be influential in trying to promote democracy?
I think just to give them the full support in the way they deal with democracy. The democratic values in South Africa are completely different from the rest of Africa, where in other African countries, democracy or political parties are based on tribalism, more or less, or on regions. In South Africa, you have this democracy that is based on social layers for a long time. And that's, for me, that's a very good basis for a democracy. And I think if he can give his full support to this kind of democracy within Africa, it could be a very good signal for the other countries in the region and on the continent.
And are you saying in terms of Zimbabwe as well? Is that a main country that you were thinking of right now?
Zimbabwe, but also Kenya. We had the problems in Kenya before, but I think most of the countries in Africa.
But the racism has been so deeply entrenched in this country for so many years. How do you feel that democracy can help combat racism?
That's a difficult one. You know, all parties are multicultural. Even ANC has quite some colored people, has quite some white people, and then the so-called white parties also have quite some black and colored, and then you have, like for example, the independent Democrats. It's a completely mixed democracy. And I think, especially with the youth here in South Africa, from what I see at the universities, this racism is going away. I think that the most extreme people have left the country already. Something like 2 million people left the country in the last 10 years because they couldn't live with this new democracy. And I think the future are the young people, both black, white and colored. And I think they're on the good track, on the right track. People born after 94, after the democratic process started, they are the future, and I think they're on the right track.